I have been stuck in loading screens from hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I also added in a thing for the Kenku if your wife ever wants to join in. It should be under characters. Yeah, it should be visible to you.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, just fill it in at your leisure, and if she wants, she can join in this week or next week. I'm flexible.
Well, she is at work right now, so I will have her help me fill that in when she gets home.
All right. So, to kick things off, we start again with right where essentially we left off with Elizabeth, Rainer, and Jing. You three are in the much larger burial room, this one. And you have found the staff that the lizard folk sent you to get. Broken in 2 pieces, but you found it nonetheless. And you stand in the room, in the stone room, not really sure what to do. Where do you guys go?
We checked all the rooms, right?
Yeah, and every single one was empty.
Well, while you guys handle that real quick, I'm going to change my child.
All right. Jing, you're making a beeline for the exit?
So, wait, it's empty from bodies or from anything else?
You can try and find anything else, but from the looks of things, it's actually fairly well kept. There's not really even any dust around here. You find a few scraps of clothing in some of the tombs, or rather just a few scraps of cloth. You find one that's large enough that it's definitely got to be some kind of clothing, but most of it is far too weak to reconstitute into anything, really. At most, it just looks kind of cool. I don't know. Beyond that, you don't find anything of use.
Oh, believing in.
Rainer?
Yeah, I'll be leaving too.
As you exit Rainer, roll a wisdom save.
Exit
the room
or the tomb?
Yeah, as you exit the room, roll a wisdom save. You resist the urge to draw a card. You keep moving.
What do you mean resist the urge to draw a card?
It's a passing thought. It's a passing thought, one that you honestly have no idea why. It's just you suddenly have the thought to draw a card from something. You don't know what or from where, just you want to draw a card. It passes quickly and you don't act on it. It's just a thought.
I hate you so much right now.
Anyways, you keep moving. Eventually, you guys get to So anyways, you guys get to the staircase. Here's where things kind of look a bit chaotic. There's what appear to be broken. It almost looks like there's broken sticks and other such things littered all over the place. around the staircase at least. Pieces of rusted metal, bits of this white, almost powder, and also the occasional, looks like wood chips, almost like they're from a plank of some kind. You're not sure where, but the thing is, there's enough pieces that it kind of makes it a bit hard to move forward. If you want to get by, you're going to have to try and clear the staircase. Anyways. Okay, Jing, you take 7 damage as the stuff ricochets off the wall and immediately sinks into your skin. You effectively made yourself a frag grenade. So yeah, Jing takes 7 damage. But the staircase is clear. Jing, on the other hand, you now look somewhat vaguely like a pincushion. Elizabeth, you hear this loud bang.
See next time on Jing the Hedgehog.
And you come up to Jing, and you notice there's these little bits sticking out all over his body. Luckily, it didn't hit anything too vital. It just looks like it's going to be a bitch to get out.
Trying to mimic me?
Is the water boiling?
Trying to mimic me?
Elizabeth, his only response is to slowly lift one finger up in the air at you. I'm assuming you guys then exit the tomb. As the staircase is clear, you guys can exit if you want.
I push whatever he has deeper inside of him. It's Shing.
It doesn't do much damage. Again, like these are just like little splinters and stuff. It just hurts like hell. Like it just stings. Anyways, you guys all eventually do get out of the place. As you guys get up, you're met by 2 figures who you hadn't seen till then. Dervona and the auntie woman. Dervona, you really don't know how you got here. When the lizard folk started circling you, you just went into your mind went into sort of this autopilot. You grabbed the sack and just started running. You're fairly certain you hit something along the way, but eventually you wound up in front of the shrine. Looking back, it appears the Yanti woman followed in your path of destruction as looking back, you apparently in your days managed to kill several large beasts along the way. But you have also this large sack of trinkets that you still have, as well as the armor. And you're just sitting in the middle of the small clearing in front of the tomb, just catching your breath. And suddenly these 3 walk out of it.
Where the fuck have you been?
Anthony? Yeah. Devona doesn't respond at first due to the fact that she is extremely tired, apparently. Instead, the auntie woman just tries to... She just started running. I felt it was best to follow, so I did. Anyways, how's the past few days been for you two? For you, your group. Where's Lucy?
Gone.
The lizard men took her.
Oh.
And I say that as deadpanned as I possibly could, with a hint of rage.
Well, she'll be safer with them than others, so could be worse. So, what did you get this time?
Broken staff.
That we have to trade.
Anyways, if you're going back to the lizard folk, I'm going to sit things out.
I forget, was this tomb the second location they told us to investigate?
Yeah, it was. I'm not scared. More. I'd rather not have things give me the death glare. For no good reason, that is. So,
I need a navy blue long sleeve t-shirt. Well, when it's cold, they can wear the.
how have things been?
Tanks. She just needs to turn it inside out.
After our capture, pretty well.
You hear click into Draconic for a second. Well, I figured they treat you better than the rest.
They have for some reason.
They think that they have some idea that their kind is inherently more adapted to survival than others. And as such, anybody who can bear a resemblance to them has that same advantage as well. Keep in mind, this is an all Draconic. So, Rainer and Jing, both of you...
They're just roaring and hissing.
Not roaring and hissing, it's much more song-like than that, but essentially, at least from your point of view. Your point of view, you got no idea what they're saying.
Doki, is your phone broken?
Anyways... And she clicks back into common. Ugh. So what exactly is the... Well, I suppose you'd like something to eat.
What do you got?
Well, there's what she killed. I'm fairly certain I can find it there.
At this point, I'd just take anything.
There it is. I'm going to need your help getting the thing back here. It is... I'm not that strong. Anyways.
No, I'm good. Not right now. Obviously, I can't right now.
What you want to know?
I bought blueberries at Village Food. I was just sort of walking by and I saw them and they just looked extra delicious. They were huge and just looked beyond.
Anyways, you guys have a nice meal of freshly murdered bear, as this one is surprisingly not dead. And at the very least, its meat is very well preserved because it hasn't gotten rotten yet. And it cooks pretty well. Anyways, so seems that the auntie woman's actually being got something on her mind, as she's mostly eating smaller portions of the meal than she usually does. She also seems a lot less composed than usual. She's constantly looking over her shoulder. Her eyes seem to always be darting around, focusing on different things in the background trying to focus on different things in the background at once. And she's constantly fidgeting where she sits on the ground.
Who are you talking about?
The Yanti woman, not you. Oh yeah, Anthony, you're back. So you kind of were in this haze. Suddenly it's night and there's bear cooking.
Sounds about right.
What got you all scared?
Never been this close to home in a while. A few years, to be honest.
Like I said, the only thing that you need to do is
Wait, she a lizard folk or a Yanti?
Yanti, different thing. Lizard folk are lizards, Yanti are snake.
Question: are lizard folk and lizard men different races?
They're effectively the same thing. Lizard men.
There's always problems in the horizon.
Not. Yeah, no, lizard men is just a different name for lizard folk.
Ah.
Not problems, more just. Okay, yes, problems. Well, possibly.
Hi, Peach. You see the dogs?
I need to ask you something. Do you intend to parley with those of my kind?
That's the plan.
Then you're either overly confident or stupid. Or both. First of the warm bloods to actually admit it. Okay, that's two people typing. Goddamn.
Lovely.
I once was sitting in on a session with a deaf girl, and it wasn't that bad. Though that involved a lot more pantomiming and Skype, but we'll make it work. Anyways, my presence within your group might harm your chances of reaching a peaceful resolution with the leaders of my people there.
So it'd be similar like the Warforge.
Oh no, far less cordial. if I were in your group, they'd be liable to kill you on sight. Though then again, they either enslave or butcher most warm bloods that they come across. So it could go either way.
Well, considering after this we might have 4 or 5 of the tribes on our back, they might reconsider.
Oh no, they.
What are you doing?
I doubt there's any group more flippant in this entire continent than them.
Yeah.
Also, they have a habit of
Most of it was
angering every other group in the continent.
But the arrogance.
They make a habit of sacrificing any trespassers to their gods.
How do we not be trespassers then?
Again, it's a 50-50. Most just catch the elders on a bad day. Though,
I didn't know that you. That
mm,
wasn't made clear to me.
I wouldn't suggest that.
That anybody, that there was things that you had to do.
Our kind is just as well versed with violence as they are with words, and well,
It has to have the certification.
Okay.
And
the phrase "treacherous snake" does have a certain.
like last year,
Truth to
they
it, so-
required a certain percentage of the crew to certify that they read some articles. And the articles were all
You know, combat wouldn't be
I had a
the
feeling,
best
I don't
method
know
for fighting them.
what it is, 'cause I don't look at the requirements,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that AED certification, current certification, so I have both of those. And it's like,
You are a valuable commodity now.
it's like, I'm a valuable commodity.
Honestly, not that far off from what our village does, but
So
well,
what is this now
Yeah.
about? Okay, sorry.
And actually, the
what did the ones you meet try to do?
bottom line, my mind, life rafts, PFD.
Well, at least my group. Well, at least the ones I know are upfront about killing you.
You're much more likely to have someone.
Would you say that?
I forget.
Which again is why the ones I'm familiar with are upfront. They aren't weak.
Because the Mackinac Authority isn't gonna go for it.
And I'm just like, fine, but this is what we get, older people,
Was there any way to get favor from them?
in shape, sailing this race. Then the other thing that the doctor said. And
Play their game.
how this felt,
Win a war with words against them, and
Joe-
they'll consider you above the cattle.
He almost died
No, that will be difficult.
If it didn't have many feet,
Wow.
Little thing about my
You must live around here.
little thing about my kind, much like the lizard folk, we're devoid of emotion.
Oh, okay.
Or at the very least, we can't truly feel it.
Wow.
We can invoke it,
That's
we
what
can
that stuff is.
mimic it. We just can't.
Like that, and it saves lives.
We prefer to think of it as analytical, logical,
Those AEDs are-
detached. This is in part what most of my kind's superiority complex comes from, where the lizard folk see emotion as an endearing trait of the warm bloods. My kind views it as a weakness, one that can be exploited very well. They also view any argument built upon emotion to be idiotic,
I just remember
and will most likely
when we were in the Caribbean, and
not even consider it.
that
So
guy
there's that.
that was doing the grinding, and he turned like ashen. And then we made him sit down below. I thought he was having a heart attack.
Sounds like you're gonna be head up negotiating on this one, Necro.
He's like
Fuck.
big. I mean,
You've debated with people who will just as likely kill you as they will treat you as an ally?
like that.
you look great. Wow.
Pete.
He's mad.
It's still the middle of the night, Jing.
Did you want your dinner? Come on.
And we have to go back to the Warforge with the swords.
With all the magic trinkets with it too.
Honestly, I'd much rather head back to the Warforged, but I do believe we should return that magic stick to the lizard folk. They don't like it when others leave with their toys. No, I'm all for any plan, so long as it keeps me away from my kind for as long as possible. So, just on time, we're going to pause real quick. So, we're going to pause for a short 10, 15 minutes so I can go get food. Because I'm hungry, guys. Be back in a bit.
So Tommy, did you see her? Did you see her?
And I'm back. Oh yeah. Okay, so little note. When they first dropped into Corinthal, they ended up in an old abandoned village. Before they got driven out by a group of angry lizard folk, they were snooping around the houses. They found a few things, and then eventually they found a few barrels. One was filled with gunpowder. One second, I go get a glass of water, then I'll be right back. And I'm back. Anyways, so yeah, I'm assuming Mark's not back yet.
I'm here.
Okay, so guys set up for the night, and you find yourselves have a bit of time before you actually all get to bed. So what do you guys want to do? All right. I'm gonna roll the. God, I can't remember what it was. Let me check real quick. It was roll. Roll sleight of hand is what it was. You get fairly close to what you're looking for. Just needs a bit more tweaking. Anyways, anybody else want to do something, or?
I'm going to read my journal. Or read the book. Sorry.
Yeah, which book was this again?
The magic book that lets me talk to Lisa.
Nothing much at the moment. You actually look on one of the pages and like there's little scribbles, doodles, really.
Can I check the status of my sword?
It's gotten slightly longer. At now, you could probably use it as a dagger. Damage would be reduced to that of a dagger, but you could use it.
And the mark on my left hand.
Mark on the left hand. Which one was that again? God, I'm done so much stuff to you guys. I can't remember in the notes.
Necros is like the god of destruction, and then Rainers is like the god of fucking with you.
The mark hasn't seemed to spread. It hasn't seemed to spread anywhere. It's just remained the same. Zheng passes out.
We think it could be, but we're not sure.
As does Dervona. After a rather fun session of playing instruments randomly. Anyways,
Maybe.
Mark and Rainer and Elizabeth, you two are the last ones up.
I guess I'll go to sleep then.
Guess I take first watch.
Okay, so Elizabeth, roll perception. Okay, so you don't see anything of note. Something you do notice is the Yanti, for the first time, is tossing and turning in her sleep. Given that she slept like a rock before, or rather, you've actually never really seen her sleep, this is both a first and a bit of a revelation.
I'll keep my eye on her.
She goes in and out of these sequences of tossing and turning in her sleep. Sometimes she lays still, but seems to almost be visibly winded in her sleep, and then sometimes she's tossing and turning, but she never seems to be in any more panic. She never seems to be in any trouble more than just a bit of panic.
I'll wake up Shing to take the second watch.
Okay, Jing, you're woken up by Elizabeth to take second watch. Come again?
He's
Can I hit the
saying
vote?
that someone's using someone else as a bed.
Oh. You would wake up Jing, but Dervona's on top of him.
I'll still wake them up. I wake up both of them and I have to.
All right. Dervona and Jing, you're both awoken by Elizabeth. Shortly after she wakes you up, she trots off and then goes to bed herself.
In a tree. If there's anyone nearby.
Jing, you're really just tired. It has not been a good day for you for some reason. And for the most part, you're off your game. You're tired, you're sore, you're hungry. It's just a roller coaster for you and you really can't focus. Who disconnected? And Dervona, you are alert and you notice that nothing's moving out in the distance. You also notice that the Yanti woman is again tossing and let me disconnect real quick. That better? Okay, yeah. So Devona, you noticed everything, and you also notice that the Yanti woman is like tossing and turning against you, or not against you, against her own bed sheets. But another thing you notice is that Jing falls asleep against you. He's sort of lightly leaned against your shoulder and just sort of lightly breathing in and out in rhythm. All right, so you keep an eye on the Yanti woman. And for the most part, it's sort of odd. It's every couple of almost every half hour or so, she stops moving and just settles into this sort of pattern where it almost seems like she looks happy. Then she starts tossing and turning again. And it keeps going on and off like this for the duration of your watch.
I think someone's having a nice dream.
You want to try and figure that out, or? Roll intelligence check, just straight intelligence. From the looks of things,
Did you eat?
you're not sure.
Come here. You.
just hard to tell.
Come here.
You do get a sense, though, that she's not having a pleasant dream. You remember vaguely working with somebody who had similar nightly movements, and to hear them describe it, it was some kind of recurring nightmare. Though while she's not thrashing, it didn't clock you in the jaw, so you're not sure. You do know it's probably not a pleasant dream, though. You can try, but you got to get Jing off you first. Are you going to try and keep Jing asleep, or do you not care? Okay, so you slowly move so that Jing's sleeping against the ground where you were sitting to take watch. And you, well, essentially crawl over to the Yanti woman. She's currently in one of her still sets. So, what do you want to do? Where do you poke her exactly? Because knowing you guys, it would have either been the head or somewhere else. No offense, but
Poke their eye out.
no, I'm saying some of you would have clocked her in the side of the head. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You lightly prod her with the blunt end of the pike, and what?
Please don't.
I was squirming. Still night. Wake me up when it's morning. And she just like turned.
Do a little turn on the catwalk.
She just turns over and goes back to sleep.
So what does Peach do?
All right. Throughout the rest of your watch, she actually doesn't move all that much. At least not from your view.
Does she chase it?
So, let's see. Who takes third watch?
I guess I'm the only one left.
All right.
Apparently she's not about it now.
Devona, how do you wake up Rainer?
So what else did you?
You're woken up by something prodding you in the cheek. You turn to see the dwarf woman with the pike, like just
What song is that?
hovering over your face.
I'm sexy and I know it.
I smack it away.
Who's that?
Okay, you just smacked a metal pike, so it hurts.
It's like a band.
You notice nothing out of the ordinary. The snake woman, at least where you think she's sleeping, you think she managed to sort of tightly wrap herself in the blanket she's using. And she's slowly rocking back and forth. Or rather, the mass is.
I go over to check.
All right. You're standing over her.
Just want to make sure it's not like someone's wrapping her up to try to take her anywhere.
No one's taking her anywhere. She's just laying there. Do you try touching her?
Nope, I'm gonna go back to my watch.
How close did you get to her?
Close enough to see with 11.
Yeah, so that'd be about 10 feet.
Alright.
Roll another perception. You think you see something next to her. This little glint in the moonlight.
It's just like a shimmer, or
No, it looks like something shiny.
I go get closer to see what it is.
The moment you get like right over her, roll dexterity save.
If that was her fucking knife, I'm gonna be so freaking mad.
You just barely manage to get out of the way as this arm suddenly just launches out of the blankets. And it's the right arm, and it's not holding anything. It appeared to try and sweep the legs, and other hand is a knife. The bare look you can get on her, the look you can get on her face, she is not thinking of anything at the moment. Her eyes just like completely feral. And she lunges at you with the knife.
Oh crap, I tried to disarm her. Oh wait, I got this. Hold on. I spend a key point and use stunning strike.
Let me check on what that does. Where did you get stunning? Oh, stunning strike.
Level 5.
Hmm.
I guess that means I have to do like an unarmed strike first.
Yeah, first you gotta roll to hit.
Does that hit?
No. Roll a acrobatics check to try and as she. Yeah, no, not acrobatics, because she gets within distance and you instinctively punch out to try and hit her right in the sternum. She almost twists around it and actually grabs the arm with her right, uses it to pull you in and bring the knife right under your chin. The moment you speak, the knife gets pressed a bit tighter. Her eyes are just darting around.
Is she still crazy, or is this like?
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy eyes at the moment.
Sorry, and I freaking try to. She's got a knife to my neck, and she's got an arm on my arm, right?
No, she's got your wrist, because you struck out with a left hand. She grabbed it with the right. Devona, roll perception. You do wake up to the commotion.
Can I do my plan first?
Sure.
I'm gonna grab her wrist with my other hand and try to use my foot to like break her footing and topple over.
Okay, first roll athletics to try and grapple.
Nope.
She actually, before you can even move, she almost seems to see the hand start to move upwards and the knife, and you actually feel the metal pressing against your neck this time. It's not drawing blood yet, but it's very present.
So can I do the trip up to try to...
Sure, but it'll be insanely hard at this point.
Alright, let's just try something stupid. I'll headbutt her.
Okay.
Would that count as an arm strike?
Yeah, at disadvantage, because again, knife at throat.
That's pretty good disadvantage!
You do connect.
And according to Stunning Strike, as long as I hit, I can make any attack a Stunning Strike.
Yeah, but it's a Constitution save. What's your DC?
16.
Yeah, the rest of you are awoken.
So,
Well, she's not stunned, but that should wake her up.
Actually does, but she looks down, immediately releases and pushes you away from her.
Are you better now, as I'm holding my neck?
Just don't try and take anything from me. Again.
I
You
was
should just... Then don't try getting close.
Again. I wasn't. I saw something and went to investigate. Then you put a knife to my throat.
Dorona, you were about 10 feet from all this?
Whatever. Last time I tried to help anyone.
She just goes back and wraps herself up again. Just goes back to bed. Anyways, the rest of the night, for the most part, goes unnoticed.
Is your fall weather gear wet, Tommy?
What?
Is that wet?
Yeah.
And you guys wake up in the morning.
Did I get any dreams from my sword?
No, actually, it didn't. Weird. Anyways, you guys wake up in the morning and things seem all right. Though Rainer, in the daylight now, you can notice there's a small indent across your neck where the knife was pressed.
Whatever.
We have the map.
The Yanti stands up. Oh, guess I'll keep you company then. So, Rainer, you have the map with the route, actually.
Oh yeah, and technically I'm team leader. Yeah, you missed that, Anthony. These two fuckers threw me under the bus and made me team leader.
They made him leader whenever they have to deal with people.
I guess... Yeah, I guess I'll start walking the path.
So, anyways,
Hey, Miss Peach. How are you doing?
V's gonna kind of keep it close. V's gonna kind of trail behind.
And we're walking, and we're walking.
Yeah, everybody roll dexterity checks.
I can't roll shit because my computer restarted.
Oh. Still reads you're in the game, though. All right, we'll wait a sec for Necro to get back in.
I recommend you guys doing it. It's gonna take a while.
What the fuck do you want me to talk about, Anthony? We've been in this freaking jungle for over 3 months at this point.
So, you guys managed to make it through and notice that the landscape is getting particularly more swampy.
Seems like we're on the right.
Yeah. Dervona, actually, V offers to give you a piggyback. Dervona graciously accepts the piggyback offer from V. And anyway, so you guys keep moving. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mark.
I was just about to do it again.
All right, so. Jing, roll a dexterity save. A knife, you view this as a knife goes embedded into the tree right next to you, and this thin line of blood starts drawing along your cheek.
How far away am I from Jing?
He's behind you by about 10 feet.
Yeah, that's too far. Never mind. I was gonna be cool, but I can't.
V walks over and plucks the knife out of the tree. All the while, Jing, she's giving you the evil eye, and Dervona, you're just perched on her back.
Must you all be fighting all the time?
And she just keeps walking forward. She does mutter something under your breath that you don't understand for the life of you. Dervona, you don't happen to speak Draconic, do you? Okay, yeah, so you don't understand what she says either. And Elizabeth, you just can't hear it in time. You just can't hear it. Anyways, so you guys eventually get to what you assume is the edge of their inner lands, as it's marked by a large tree adorned with the bones of several different animals. It's also on a small patch of dry land.
Yay, the banging stopped. I can talk now.
The banging? Did you have construction going on?
Yeah, we ripped up an entire floor and we're putting down wood floor.
Oh.
Mm.
Anyways, there's oh, okay. So, anyways, Devona, you and V just decide we're staying here. She just nods to you. And none of them are dwarves. They all seem to be different kinds of animals. One being a particularly large serpent, at least the head.
Ooh, Naga.
Doesn't look like a Naga, actually. Bit different.
A behir?
Shot in the dark. Have I been taught about anything of what I'm seeing?
Roll history. This looks very, tribal. There's no, like, you get a sense that there might be some kind of, there doesn't seem to be any kind of, like, religious significance to this. It's more just a mark of, yeah, don't cross this land.
Oh, this is the border.
It's essentially a marker saying, no. Turn around and leave.
Or if we're just need something like this rather than bodies on the cliff.
Tally ho.
So you guys trudge off and keep moving inwards. Eventually, Dervona, you hear the footsteps, the sloshing of their footsteps hitting the water slowly recede into the distance and then disappear. You and V are left alone.
Oh, you do?
She's taken the time to sit down and kind of move her shoulders a bit because, let's be honest, you're kind of heavy.
You really liked it.
No, that was fine.
If that
Did you know?
Rainer was his name? The non-annoying one.
I heard that.
She started
You're all out of earshot, mind you. I doubt it. So, did that include gutting your own sister?
What did you take away from that message? Well, first of all, I mean, just to start where she says, I appreciate.
But did you lay there, forced to use her corpse for warmth? You felt every last drop of blood leave her body, knowing that every moment of agony she suffered through was your fault. And in the very end of it all, feeling nothing. Not guilt, fear, pain, anger, sorrow. Nothing. Thinking I did that because I wanted to survive. Ever since then, the dreams have started.
In fact, we heard almost identical accounts of what Steve Penny said in interviews with Michaela Maroney. He told me, don't tell anything to anybody. Allie Raceman. He would just say,
When you have these dreams, those moments when you remember back, do you feel anything? Does emotion anchor you so that you aren't lost in it for hours? Or does it cloud your judgment and make it last longer? Force you to forget that you're dreaming and that you need to wake up in order for the images to stop.
This was going to come crashing down, and they wanted to cover it up for as long as possible.
Meanwhile, Larry Nassar said publicly he retired from Olympic gymnastics.
Devona's not drunk enough for this.
Goddamn hackers.
Stop hacking that girl.
Oh.
What?
What does that mean?
Filler keys. What the hell's
Filter. Filter keys. Kafilkavish.
He won't be in Rush Hour 3.
Filter keys tells the keyboard to ignore short or repeated keystrokes. In other words, if you want to write somebody stuttering, that's a major annoyance. Jing, what were you trying to do?
Move my character sheet.
Oh.
Apparently, I just lied to somebody really well.
You just told the rest of the group that you're blue, and for a split second they believe you. Before looking back and realizing you're not blue. Though the thought lingers in the back of their heads.
Weren't you blue before?
Angela was blue. The Nephilim friend of Elijah. Also, I'm just putting it out there. My halo showing. Because all Ashmir's get this fancy fucking halo for some reason.
Do they? I thought they just got wings.
I thought it only appeared when you activated your wings.
No, I read a description of them. They have a faint glow and they have halos. It's just brighter when we go into whatever mode we go into, or darker depending on, whatever
You're needed in the upstairs.
whatever Ashmere you pretend to be. Necro and your fallen Ashmere bullshit.
Fuck off. You want to be Natsu?
I do. I really do. Actually, I want to be more casual, but hey.
Not bringing back the Dragon Slayers. 1 sec.
But why? They're so balanced now.
Click Start Control Panel Ease of Access Center. One sec. There.
I finished it.
That help you? That help you, buddy?
Find out where that sailor came from. To put your minds at rest. Smallpox does not spread that
Rita.
2 hours later.
So much
Yeah.
later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Yeah.
And he did in the what's it split.
So, anyways,
But she. I even tried to help a bit.
Anthony, you remember where we left off, or do you need me to refresh you?
Dentist's new house. But I couldn't end it. Not after what happened last time at that hospital. I just couldn't. What did happen last time, Lawrence? You tell me I can try to help.
All right, so back to the main group, or rather, the other 3.
What?
So, you 3 keep wandering through the swamp. And eventually, you guys get to what you think is the outskirts of the village. You get, mostly because you start seeing buildings, or what you think are buildings.
It's at this point I start walking behind Elizabeth because they like her more than him.
And I use Rich Boy as a shield in case he starts shooting.
Symptoms they came in with.
I'm sure you were able to reassure the doctor.
You notice there are 2 individuals standing at the edge, standing on the outsides of 2 of the buildings. One's a familiar-looking black-scaled lizard folk wearing this sort of bone-like clothing. The other is white-skinned, or white-scaled, I should say.
Hola, sí, amigos. Me llamo Ishi.
It is indeed Thorkir and Mirik.
What happens if the children use?
I'm looking
What's that crackle lacking?
And they come at me. I hear the metal clanging.
So I
So you 3 survived.
we can help you.
I've had the sort of help that people like
The
you.
entire place was empty.
There's got to be another way about this. As if they're at work.
There were no corpses.
Freezer section.
No corpses,
Kind.
Only carry
nothing.
their mother's life is at stake. Eunice's problem isn't with her pregnancy, but her mind.
Shouldn't you find that stick thingy, though?
Didn't Rainer have it?
No, he gave it to you.
Show him the rod. This was already broken by the time we got there.
Do you guys actually give them the stick, or do you just...
Yeah, give it to him.
Well, it's better than nothing. He tosses the 2 parts to Mirik, who just awkwardly catches them. Hmm. Hmm. Well, let's hope the others have that same disposition. Come on, let's go. The two of them start walking into the village.
I followed suit.
I attempt to follow
Anyways.
suit.
Nah, skip along.
So as you guys walk through the village behind these two, things look pretty good. And
Well, I'm taking you to see a doctor. But I reckon differently. Dr. Turner, I found him. Ade Babiano is currently concealed in my car and hidden with the travel book.
anyways, the village looks oddly similar to the one you guys first appeared in, the scattered buildings and as such, except these are more almost, parts of them seem almost submerged, but there are still like, so yeah, for the most part, the village has this almost thin layer of water throughout it. This sort of murky, muddy water, but and there are these small, like, dried pathways that seem to connect both the houses to this sort of main, I don't think road would be the best word because it's not large enough to be a road, more walkway, really. This walkway is even pathed by a few planks of wood that are just scattered about it. Devona, you're not even there, so you don't know this. But most of the houses seem to have been refitted with, these wooden parts. Some of them have have these sort of leaf like roofs and such like that. And seems to be a large amount of, there's about 40 of these houses in total. Some seem to have purposely had trees grow out of sides, almost destroying entire walls. Others are almost completely immaculate. They're in varying stages, but they all seem to be 2 to 3 room houses, essentially. First, 1 floor onlys for the most of them. You get to the end of the path, and there's this much larger tree set in what this looks like, this sort of deeper pond almost. But anyways, so you guys are brought, there's this pathway leading up to this raised platform that has this wooden and stone hut. It's a bit larger, looks to be about 4 or 5 rooms and even 2 stories. And there's a pretty large porch around it. Anyway, So, you guys know a few things that happen. And anyways, there's a lot of different there's a few different figures standing around the porch arguing with somebody inside. One seems to be one's this dark green. There's 4 in total. One's a dark green and almost seems sort of like a gator. He's bigger than any of them. And he even has like a ribbed back, essentially. The second of the two is this red-scaled lizard folk who seems almost snake-like. The tail is almost smooth, and the scales are this much less pronounced feature of his body. The other two almost seem identical, save for the scale color. One being blue, the other being green. The other being, blue. The other being a sort of yellow and green almost. So, anyway, you guys get to be eventually get to the edge of the staircase the staircase moving up, and
Suspense.
And before we get to you guys, we're going to cut back to Anthony. Dirvona, do you remember where you left off with the conversation, or do I need to remind you? Essentially, she asked, when you go back to those moments of horror, of bloodshed, memories that make you forget for a split second that it is a dream, does emotion help to ground you from it, or does it only serve to pull you further in?
I try to get out, and they just keep pulling me back in.
You're a David at Corinthal bullshit biologist. We can vouch for that.
You certainly can.
Well, for me, it's every time I look at it as I am now. Not the little girl who was clutching a knife. And I guess I have no real way of ever figuring out why these dreams keep coming back. If what you say is true, then I have no emotion for it to feed on. So it's my punishment then. To endure reliving it almost every night.
Eunice had no more children, and her family
I
never
suppose it is poetic.
became a happy one once more. Her condition not recognized in name.
I did what I did because I knew it was either that or die. And well, I didn't wish to die. Oh, my sister had much to say about that. So, cutting back from that, back to the other group. Anyways,
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
anyways, cutting back to you three and your two guides, they're all all of those presents are talking in a language, Elizabeth, only you really understand. It's Draconic. And really, they're talking so fast, even you really can't pick it up. Oh, Lupin disconnected. Anyways, so you guys understandably Elizabeth, what you get the gist of is arguments about land, something about traditions, and a term you're not sure if it's just mispronounced or if it's not even part of the Draconic language.
Well, what might that be?
The closest definition is a word that snake. You think snake fucker? You're not sure. The word is said far differently, but that's the closest word you can think of being similar.
So, Elizabeth, what's the skinny on the scoop?
How am I supposed to know? Talking about something about land, tradition, and something to do with snake fuckers.
Ah, so the conversation's going that well. Great. This should be interesting.
Then, Elizabeth, you hear some voice. Enough! It's actually in common.
I didn't do it.
You what?
It's from inside the hut. And this fifth figure appears as the other four kind of back away. She's actually not the tallest. In fact, she's only taller than the red one. Yet, Elizabeth, you recognize the look of respect when you see it. It looks almost like that of a unit of military style.
Elizabeth, show the nurses out.
This figure is entirely covered in what you can only assume are leaves. This sort of large dress style of clothing. It covers almost every inch of their body. Their hands are covered in like these gauntlets made out of wood and leaf as well. And all you can really see are the eyes. And it's these.
Have you been watching Overlord?
I was about to say.
Partially got the inspiration from that, yes. But I'm not taking everything from that. Thank God none of you have...
sword.
Yeah, sure, that part. Okay, so the other four kind of just look at her and it's, well, yeah, no, it is a her. While it is a dress, it's very easy to see this is a female lizard folk. Anyway, so, and also the voice was surprisingly feminine. She looks down, she looks to Mirik, then Thorkir. So, these are the three you sent to retrieve what was lost in the forbidden parts. Thorkir is the first to respond. Yeah.
Terry made me see that.
I mean,
Though I'd never have made the move without him. He made me
worked.
He always had a plan.
To what extent?
Moved to England. Look at us now. Hundreds of miles.
It's
not a penny in the bank,
broken.
and nowhere to be seen. And I'm not brave. Not anymore.
Of course it is. Bring it here. And Mirik walks up the steps and hands her the 2 pieces of the staff. It can always be remade. All right. Well, I suppose I should thank you three. You've done us a service. As such, we are inclined to hear it. We are inclined to give you rest for the night.
It's a coffin. I'm under the earth, buried in blackness. That's the eye patch.
We will continue our discussions tomorrow.
What time is it?
It's about midday.
You are the mistress of your vision, custodian of the law. Custard? What's custard got to do with it? No, not custard. Custody. Take custody of your.
And it was getting so interesting too.
The might of the majestic Zambezi as it drops by the curtain of Victoria Falls. Now, what can you say?
The other four kind of just dejectedly walk down the stairs and disperse to different parts of the village. And anyways, so
Shame on you and shame on your parents.
are you coming in?
That is enough. Wait till the filth turns your mind. Innocent children. Continue to harass my class.
I'm gonna ask about Lucy.
Call them myself. You peddling filth.
She. Okay, where did you put that one?
You need to drop this. Or I might stand by while you come when I know how
I thought she was with you. I thought she went back to your family. No, she didn't.
Okay,
She
I'm
said
starting to get the picture. Lucy, we're here to pick you up.
Nothing.
Really, nothing. I was sure that would have worked. I look around. Did she appear anywhere?
Nope.
reform school. I never saw her again. Not much in all these years.
Strange. That usually works.
Even if I could find
She
one.
did mention something about
Because she's your
going back. Last I saw her.
Going.
Mind you, that
I must say that was a very invigorating.
I don't know. She talks fast and she doesn't.
I thought we could-
And she's not often that.
You kept looking your way.
Indeed.
Um.
Have a lazy eye.
Hmm. How would I say that without insulting you?
Family never hurt.
Never mind. Are you coming in or not? And she heads back inside herself.
They won't hear. One private.
Nah, follow suit.
Yeah.
The rest. You get inside, you notice the windows have these heavy shrouds drawn over them. Everything's kind of this darker, kind of darkened, made to be. It's made to sort of dampen any light that comes inside. To off center of this, there's actually several of these small, sort of glowing mushrooms.
I'll call the police. Ah! Ah!
yeah, there's these multiple luminous mushrooms growing in the small pot she just has all over the place. There's also what you can guess are furniture, chairs, and a table.
I'll lead the way, and you bring up the rear. Keep low.
If you also notice that Thorkir and Mirik both follow you two in. And you guys, and she turns back. Mirik, would you? Yes. And she sort of pulls this heavy curtain, you guess would be the best word for it, across the door. She sort of nervously looks around for a second. Thank you. And then she starts quickly disrobing. Below, she's wearing this sort of plain, almost cloth-like tunic and a pair. She's actually devoid of any scales. Well, not exactly. There are scales. They're just this sort of very, very stark white color.
She is literally the druid from Overlord.
Yes, except a lot meaner. And also a lot more tough, as fun thing, she killed the last person in charge by ripping his jaw out. So there was that. Sorry. Sun doesn't work well with my skin. Honestly, I'm lucky I've survived this long. No. She actually ripped his jaw out and then slammed his head into a rock several times. Well, she did keep the jaw. It was a trophy. Anyways, so in your dialect, you would call me Moonskin. I'd like to know your names.
I am called Rainer, and I slightly bow.
I'm Elizabeth, and this is annoying. And I point at Sheen.
Turns towards Yuzheng.
Toki, you alive?
He's muted.
I thought they finished putting in his floors.
Paperwork, probably. Amazing. He's never this quiet.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Pretty close. Uh,
Oh, there he is. He's typing in.
And we're talking, and we're
Toki?
talking.
What's
Oh,
up?
yeah. Anyways.
It won't be long now, and you can have your wife back.
That lovely pearl. I can see baby's head. Keep that push going as long as you can.
I introduced myself. Sorry, I might know anybody was talking to me.
Oh.
Where have you been hiding? A nice gentle push for me, pearl.
Anyways, so you were introduced as annoying by Elizabeth.
I would not disagree.
You smoothskins always had weird naming practices. Anyways, so you can sit if you want. I need to get a few things. And she actually walks off to another room of the hut to get some stuff.
I lean over and ask, what's been going on?
you were told to sit.
Before that, I kind of spaced out there.
Lucy's apparently missing, and they're giving us the night in their village. That's literally about it.
Oh.
I sit down.
I'll take a seat.
I'll stand.
Take a seat. Take a seat. Right over there.
Right on the bone skeleton.
Nope. No. I'm good. I'll stand.
Kind of reminds me of the chest of skulls I still have.
So,
You know, I still have a jar of Bleak Wolf eyes from like the very first.
Yeah, that's kind of goo.
Yeah, unless you pickled them, they're gone, man.
Mrs. Walker, this is your sister.
And it will stink to high hell.
I have not opened them. They've been in the sealed jar for like this entire time.
So
Yeah,
8
no.
months with no preservative on liquid eyeballs. They're goo. Doesn't matter if they're exposed to the elements. If there's not preservative, they will freaking melt because of temperature.
Yeah, stink bomb now.
No, that's not possible. The child was adopted. Lily still talks about it.
So, anyways,
She's been here for one mistake.
she comes back and there's this sort
Why
of,
is she still here?
she's holding this sort of
As I say,
hollowed out,
Ellingham never really got over
it's essentially a jar.
If she wasn't mentally disturbed when she was admitted, she is now.
She sits, it looks like she's sort of scooping something out of it and sort of rubbing it into parts of her skin.
Joy's great against his palate fine.
She sort of caps it again, sit down, and then sits. There's a sort of
I think I'm familiar with her.
floral smell coming from her now, almost like,
I am back and the feast preparations are done.
yay, we're all talking again, thank God.
And he is not in this conversation because he was waiting at the border with the snake woman.
I'm your sister.
Anyway, so
I was just throwing a note there that I did not hear the last thing you said because I was handed food.
okay, so essentially, woman walked out to get something, came back rubbing paste into her skin or
Put
scales.
on lotion.
Essentially,
V or the woman you're talking to?
the woman they're talking to.
Oh no,
Also,
I was
did you
telling
get
you I
that
didn't hear the
Overlord
last thing that V
reference?
said. And no. Every time you guys mention that, I have no clue what you're talking about.
It would take too long to explain. Anyways, moving on. So, sorry if the smell's unpleasant. I find this alleviates any burns I get from the sun.
She burns in the sun.
She's an albino. Or moon skin, as the in-canon descriptor.
No, that's just her name.
Oh, I thought that was referring to her condition.
No, well, it does. It's just the name she took. Remember, lizard folk give names to each other off of deeds or defining characteristics.
Like Big Snaggletooth.
Not that. More things that define them as, in a survival sense. It's why Merrick's known as Song, and it's why she's called Moonskin. Because skin only works in the moon.
Now I know where you are.
And we're talking.
Anyways. Regardless, I am to understand that you aided my...
Is it really?
I know there's a word you smoothskins have in your language for those that work under you, but you still consider them...
Comrades?
That implies...
Mercenary.
No, they don't work for payment. They work out of
What's
duty.
messed up two lives?
Soldiers?
Lily Ellingham was damned because she did. Her sister was damned.
Officers, I think the word is.
Okay.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Your language is confusing at times. Officers with a problem.
I'm not sure the classes would have saved either of the sisters.
And
Perhaps not.
yeah, that's essentially what her skin looks like, but that's not what she actually looks like at all.
Did someone just post a picture of the Overlord chick?
Necro did. Look in the Discord.
There it is. There it is.
Anthony, for reference, that's who they're referencing.
I need to watch that at some point now then.
Season 2
There's-
just finished.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons.
After 3 years.
At least third season are in production.
I'm so excited for season 3.
That is so terribly slow.
It is produced by Madhouse.
Yes, but it didn't get greenlit. Like the gap between 1 and 2, there's. Let's not talk about this now. We're wasting time.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about this later. Anyways, so I'm guessing you want something from us.
Isn't it?
We are out of character for the 5th fucking time. We are ambassadors for the Ember Tree tribe and are going to all of the clans to seek aid to purging the undead, the curse that is plaguing this land.
She had so little before, but now she's lost her shop and her children are in care.
Undead have been a problem for our hunters in the past.
I could do something.
They take food from us. They are a threat. Though how do we know that this would result in their permanent removal from the continent?
Now we just need to find some new clothes for Alistair and Hazel.
Magic is a
I made an emergency
chaotic force.
phone mothers for any appropriate hand-me-downs. Early results are very promising.
It appears that
Goodness, what a haul.
the current
There's a lot of competition between the
undead,
sexes.
the ones that randomly appear at night, are being controlled by a singular lich, if you know what that is. I squint.
I saw his little sister coming off to school this morning.
I assume it's a form of undead.
Yes, but it's a powerful wizard that chose to become undead. I look over to Jing. Am I describing this right? I've only ever seen the 2.
I give him a thumbs up.
And do you have any... Do you simply believe that removing this lich will end the curse, or is that just hope, as I believe what the word is?
The Ember Tree have a plan for the removal of it, but given what we've seen as we have most recently, it appears that this lich is in command. And would I know killing the summoner would destroy the construct?
No, you would not.
Damn, I was.
Under a Caribbean sun that was as hot as
And it
fire
seemed
burning
as
in
if
the
it's
flames.
raiding tombs. The one that we were sent to find your stick, I mean no offense, was in the middle of all of the corpses there being taken somewhere.
So much. I'll never go away again, I promise.
We go inside and see what the lads have done.
Oh, Mr. Buckle,
It was being
Wait till you see inside.
transported from one of our tribes as a symbol of peace between us, in understanding and acceptance of my ascension to the position of power over the others.
I'm thinking of using it every day.
leadership.
You could put little notes in.
With it, I could easily command authority over the other 4 tribe leaders. Though without it, it will be significantly harder. Though not impossible.
I smell a quest coming on.
Another one.
I don't know how you can smell.
That was out of character.
Sounded in character, sorry.
That was me trying to be sarcastic.
Well, at the very least, you have gotten it back. So maybe something can be salvaged of it. Regardless, I suppose I do have to thank you.
Would you prefer Marmite?
Okay.
Thing in the world. Because you are like a sister to me.
It's at this point, it's at that point when you heard Ascension to Authority, Elizabeth, that you noticed on the wall behind her, there's a series of odd things hanging from the wall. One's most definitely a non-human jawbone. Another seems to be on a small shelf, a jar with an eye floating inside of a liquid. A claw, a rather large claw placed on, because this is all on one shelf. So yeah, it goes jawbone, eye in jar, claw, and then the final one appears to be a foot.
Souvenir from a friend. You may take it if you wish. I can put it in the maternity home. It will be appreciated.
What's with the body parts you have over there?
First, check that it's
Challenges. Those who attempted to take from me what I had earned.
Tom.
Though, and she points to the jar, that was the man who that was the one who I had to prove I was worthy of leading.
Although my head is splitting.
They're all dead now.
This is the result. You're on bed rest until I say so. I've even hired a nurse to make sure you stay put this evening.
So, anyways,
Knowing that family are back home is all the thanks I need.
Meanwhile, in the Batcave.
yeah, so you guys are still there.
Hot and clammy too.
Anyways, how do you guys are sort of just sitting there.
You know what, Brian? While you wait for them to respond, I want to cast Find Steed.
All right, you
So
can
I
cast
finally
Find
figure
Steed.
out what the is going to happen.
Alligator.
My husband would be happy to have it.
Oh, God.
You just get a honey badger.
Or maybe
Doesn't that have to be something you're capable of writing? Or at the very least,
Dire
big
honey badger.
Oh, God. That would be hilarious. But, Brian, you know what I wanted.
No, I know what you wanted.
The small pony.
Shut up. Let me
The
look.
question is, what do I actually get?
So you decide, screw it.
Brian, no, Brian.
It's a
give me
form that
second.
you choose, so
Give me a second. I'm gonna send you something that will make everything just so much funnier.
Come on, don't disappoint me here. Okay. So you go about summoning it. First, it looks like someone you vaguely remember meeting a very long time ago and putting their head through a ship.
Fuck you!
Though that's only moments existence and is replaced with a rather large wolf. That's almost as big. That's actually about almost as big as you. Almost as tall as you. It's this. You just got a dire wolf.
I didn't. It cut out halfway through it, but I'm pretty sure you used what I said.
No, I did. I didn't actually say his name, but Mark reacted. It was essentially, it looks like somebody you remember meeting a very long time ago. Someone you remember putting through a ship at some point. But then it flickers and turns into the form of a large dire wolf.
Oh, good.
One who's almost as large as you.
That was the funniest joke that I've used my campaign for so far.
And V's just kind of... So...
Stay tuned for more from Call the Midwife.
The wolf will be tame, I assume?
Dervona just looks at her. You realize it can understand you, right? As this creature does now have an intelligence of 6 and understands common.
So just thinking about violence, looking at people like Barbara Castle, Thora Hurd in her younger
Question
days,
still stands.
in her younger days. We wanted to move Violet on from late 50s to early 60s. So that was
To answer you, it's more than willing to help carry me.
That doesn't answer my question, though, but all right, I suppose I'll have to take that.
I tried to bring a bit more Hattie Jake.
Okay,
Move forward now, rather than
back to the other guys. Devona, you spend the next hour petting the dog. Anthony, you're cutting out hard there. Damn it, Necro. No.
It's the best scene.
I said,
No, Necro.
I said now back to the other guys
Oh my
who
God.
have been laughing at Rainer's expense.
Yeah, Dervona, you just spend the next few hours petting the dog.
Sounds like something she would do.
Laura and I were chatting. We were just talking about how we could negotiate on a little bit from 1962. And we
Anyways, so back to the other group.
A little bit looser, a little bit higher, and we were looking at people like James.
There's-
Foster in 1963.
Mirig actually brought these small
York. And so we've got loads of
cups.
information and ideas just from
And you're definitely certain they're cups because they're these small. They're essentially similar to the bowl that Moonskin had with the cream in it, except they're much smaller, and they have this sort of pale greenish liquid in them, and there's actually a bit of steam coming off them.
I'll be right back. I need to change my kit.
Okay.
I sniff the liquid.
I knock it back like a champ.
It's just tea. And it smells like...
Tea.
Yeah, it smells like tea.
What kind of tea?
You don't know.
I take a sip.
It's herbal. Very nice.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
What kind of tea was it?
Herbal tea.
I mean, the question she asked us.
She asked us a question?
I'm assuming that's why everybody's quiet.
Brian, did the chief lady ask us a question?
Essentially, what do you want?
Oh, I forgot. We want at least a temporary alliance between your tribes and the group that we are representing until dealing with this problem is solved, and to aid in the removal of the problem.
Do you have any idea what we would need to do as part of this alliance? Or...
That would be explained by a representative being sent to the Umber Tree to explain the whole details of the plan. It's been a while. What exactly did they tell us?
They just told you get their agreements to take part in the plan. Send somebody back to talk things over. That was the gist of it.
Alright, so what I said wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
How does she react to that?
Well...
Mondays, am I right? What's going on last night?
Okay. I get a bad feeling. You're going. Yeah, figures. Very well, I'll go. I strongly believe others should go. You and Merrick are perhaps the most trustworthy of our group, of the entirety of our tribes here.
There is no record of
All right, you have a point.
People remember her. Maybe these people are lying to you. I saw how you help people, and now it's first time. I'm not giving up. My lab has isolated a hormone that prevents.
What are we waiting for now?
He's collecting his thoughts of what to do next.
My advice?
Nope.
Yeah, good luck with that. You guys know I'm technically running 2 campaigns, right?
Yes. Wait, what?
I have a Tuesday morning campaign that I run with a couple of people. Well, a person I used to work with, and one of his friends, and my wife and me. And their campaign actually takes place in the same world and the same time frame as the one that you guys are dealing with. So at some point, I have a feeling your guys' actions will start to impact each other.
Megan. Leslie.
Oh, lovely.
So far, though, you guys are doing much better as far as social status goes than they are, considering one of them said black market in the middle of town.
Thank you for your cooperation, Chieftain Moonskin. I bow.
Busy creative partners.
Okay, you didn't need to insult yourself in front of me, but fine.
Insult myself?
Sounds great.
Smooth skin. It's typically what we call people with inferior skin to our own.
How did I insult myself out of character?
You essentially called yourself...
I didn't call myself anything. I said, thank you for your cooperation, Chieftain Moonskin.
Oh, I thought you said smooth skin. That was a completely different argument then. I misheard. My bad. Then never mind. That conversation didn't happen.
Nice.
Meanwhile, as a dwarf plays fetch in a swamp.
Yeah, meanwhile. So, okay, well, now that that is sorted.
Well, it's a great read. Jane is a badass. And she's funny.
Merrick, is there anywhere they can stay for the night?
I just
That
think
depends.
there might be some moments. Like what? Well, I think that she could wrestle with the idea to leave Steven a bit more. You know, in real life, love makes everything so much more complicated. Yeah, well, maybe the 5 guys that wrote the script have never.
I appreciate your generosity,
You're the first actress who's
but
been.
I'm afraid that as soon as we collect Lucy, we should return to finish our negotiations with the Warforged as soon as possible.
Who?
The robot men.
The
The big metal things.
Okay.
Because it's not true.
Your officers actually kidnapped us in the middle of our quest to get their agreement.
Another good answer. Thank you.
Your name is Oliver Kent, mid-level spy, son of a disgraced government actuary, 146 IQ, photographic memory, self-deprecating humor, you're funny, weaknesses, broken women, vermouth, Jack in the Box. You're driven by fear and a need to prove you're not your father. You see this guy. Good. Sergeant Stone is America, but you've done that movie. Oliver Kent is the guy watching America burn on TV.
Is that a good thing?
Right now it's the thing. We're not perfect. Answers aren't simple. But we're doing our best to find them.
Sounds like we just found RHM's new slogan.
We found our next movie.
You alright, Dale?
Yeah, just looking through some stuff real quick.
All America's best unlimited network.
Okay, yeah, look. Go. Well, it's going to be dark by the time you get halfway to the edge of our territory. And no offense to you 3, but you probably wouldn't survive what's out there at night.
Thank you for coming by.
At the very least, I would be eternally grateful for your assistance to helping try to find Lucy. She's very hard to find when she does not want to be found.
Actually, what about the other two?
If we can't find her, then she's not here.
Did you know she can turn invisible?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Where could she have gone then? I tried to think.
On what?
Where Lucy might have gone.
Roll an intelligence check. She might have gone back to the Ember Trees.
Yeah, but that would take her months.
She seemed fairly insistent that she was just going back, so...
Anyone else want to chime in on this conversation?
She could have gone towards the wharf.
I already asked a question, but I don't think my mic actually piped up on time.
Yeah, no, what was your question?
I heard you say that you thought she might have gone back to the Ember Trees. I'm like, wait, how would she even know where the Ember Trees are? My character hasn't even been there.
Technically, she got teleported here by my contractor.
Yeah, but even then, that was while we were out in the woods, not near the Ember Trees. The Warforged was the last tribe she would have seen, right?
Yeah, I suppose if I sleep tonight, I probably will have if I get a chance to have a vision by one of the three things that could potentially happen. I'll ask.
All right, so you guys want to stay in the village, or?
I'll stay.
Yeah, I'll stay.
Jing?
Jing is lost in thought.
Does Jing want to stay, or does Jing want to go?
Jing wants to go.
So you gotta sleep outdoors, then inside a bed.
So you guys all go to sleep. You're given one of the drier, empty huts, as there are a number of them on the outskirts of the villages. So, how do you guys want to do anything before you go to bed for the night?
Meanwhile, out in the woods.
Okay, yeah. Before we get to bed with you guys, back to the Hall of Justice back to the Hall of Tree with V, Dervona, and the best boy. What are you doing?
Oh, man. Me? Well, since we're apparently sleeping outside, I think I would be taking my new mount and going hunting.
Okay, you do that. He manages to bring down fairly good-sized fish. Granted, he eats half of it.
That's fine.
The thing's still big enough to feed both you and V, but only leaving you a bit hungry. You don't leave completely full, but you're okay. Anyways, yeah.
Would my choice of what type of being he is have any effect on his appearance? As I
Why
do
would
have
you
a choice
ask?
to make him.
I'm going to say
Just
no, because I think this group prescribes to the theory that it's funnier to have things be a certain kind of creature but still look the same. Key point, fey dinosaurs.
My point of asking is like, would it impact the way the creature acts or appears at any point in time?
Well, what kind of creature do you want to declare him as?
Dervona is a paladin of vengeance. So why not make him a fiend?
Okay, mark that down in your character sheet. He still goes by the name the very best boy for the time being.
What was that?
His name is still the very best boy for one reason or another.
For now.
No, as in that was the name you immediately thought of when you saw him.
Why?
You honestly don't know. Might
Because
have something to
who
do with
thought
your
it was
god.
I added it into my inventory, and I set the weight as nobody wants to find out.
Yeah.
And roll 20 stopped responding.
Oh. Okay. Well, to give you the bare
It's
bones
fine.
of it, you and the best boy go to bed. I think you'd use him as a pillow.
Yes.
But Jing is best boy.
No. Oh, no. The wolf is best boy. Jing is annoying boy.
Not to the dwarf. Jing has purposes.
True, but title of best boy was usurped now by wolf. Anyways, V seems slightly off-put by the dog, if only because it's energetic as hell and she's used to you guys being somewhat easy to anticipate the actions of. Though towards the end, she does start to pet it slightly.
Yeah, no. Not to mention the fact that she doesn't realize this thing is technically Hellhound at this point.
Essentially. But back to the other three. You guys all fall asleep.
There was a disturbance in the fort.
First, Rainer, you wake up and roll a d6. Mark,
Hey, McFly.
Sorry, what?
roll a d6.
Oh, why?
Just do it. Okay. You wake up back in the hut of Moonskin, except you don't see anybody else. There's 2 cups. They're not the hollowed out wooden ones, rather they're these much more ornate china cups. The liquid inside is a deep, rich color, not green, but more. It's more this deep, rich brown.
Are you giving me Earl Grey?
You can certainly check it.
I smell the tea. Or whatever it is.
It smells like tea.
I give it a sip.
It's Earl Grey.
I can't hear you. What?
It's Earl Grey.
Okay. Am I awake?
Mm. You know, it's not the best place, but it has its charms for a hovel. I thought you wanted to talk to me.
Did you send Lucy back?
Yes.
Okay. With that, I'm just drinking the tea. Let's load off my mind.
Oh, and this is... I did actually have a reason for this, not just to tell you that. There's your compatriot with the wings.
Which one?
The cuter one.
Which one?
Ask about the tail, then.
The one with or without a tail?
Which one?
Wait.
Damn it.
Wait a minute. You said one of them has wings. Only 2 of them have tails. One of them doesn't have wings. I don't find either of them cute. So that first one means nothing to me.
The dragon girl.
Okay.
You have to take the fun out of everything.
You seem to
Anyways,
I don't know anything.
Well, you're not that dull. Or dumb. At least I hope not. Anyways, and she pulls out of... She seems to pull out of the side of her dress. This is for her.
What is it?
A letter with information she might find prudent. She might have thought she was the only one to survive that night, but oh, how wrong she is. Though she doesn't realize she's the only one who believes that. She's also, though she might not hope that's the case, though.
I cautiously grabbed the letter.
Though that will come at a price.
God damn it!
Now, it's not another job. Rather, a bit of an exertion of power on my part. She pulls out 2 dice and places one in front of you and one in front of her. We each roll 1. If I roll even, I decide the payment. If you roll even, you decide the payment. If you roll odd, I decide the payment and not tell you. If I roll odd, I'll decide to give you a bonus at a unspecified time.
So no matter what, either we're both fucked or double either way.
You said it, not me. Roll away.
Are you a god of chance? You seem to love dice and cards.
Sadly, no. Though, games of chance, luck, they always do excite me. Well, enough chat. Let's roll. Roll a 1d6.
Do I get any modifiers?
Nope.
Come on, evens. Damn it! Okay, so she decides a payment that she's not going to tell me, and I'm getting a boon at some point.
That you're not going to know about.
Yes.
I was not expecting that. Well, isn't that fun?
Yeah, I'm left in the dark twice.
I call bullshit.
You're not in this dreamscape right now.
She takes out a small watch from her coat, from her pocket. Well, it looks like I'm running out of time. Have a dream. Have peaceful dreams. You'll know the payment soon. And you just pass out.
And now the
Elizabeth?
sword takes over.
Now, Elizabeth, you get a major sense of foreboding for some reason. Jing, you slept like a rock. When you all wake up,
motherfucking plan.
When you all wake up, here's the thing. Elizabeth and Jing, you both wake up fairly fine. Rainer, you wake up with your hand in your pocket, or rather your bag. Where did you keep the deck?
What? I assume just my adventurer's pack.
So your hand's in your you wake up to find your hand in your pack.
Fuck you. This is my payment, isn't it?
The card's already drawn.
Fucking hell! Do I have to roll, or are you just gonna roll?
I roll
Fuck!
because roll 20 doesn't like non-normal dice stuff.
Oh my god, I hate you so much. So this has to be the payment, because there's no way this can be a good thing for me. Well, it has a chance to be a good thing, but she can't just say that it was going to be a good thing, huh? His silence is worrying me. I think I might have just gotten killed.
The card you draw shows a flower blossoming through a crack in a solid stone. You feel this swell of energy within you.
You leveled up. Congratulations.
You pulled the card growth. Good. The card shows a flower blooming through stones. Effect: the player gains a level in the class of the DM's choice.
It's the same thing Jing drew.
Yeah.
Let's roll those dice.
I decide class though.
Oh, I thought you rolled the dice for the class. Or are you actually going to pick...
DM's choice.
Oh, fuck!
Have fun with that level of warlock.
Druid.
So I'm a level 5 monk, a level 1 druid?
Yep.
Oh god.
Gain a 1d8.
Lady.
Well, you gain 8 plus your constitution. You gain
8 plus con?
Yeah, 8 plus con.
Puts me to 40.
You gain proficiencies with clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, scimitars, and spears. You gain proficiency in herbalism kits and intelligence and wisdom saving throw advantages. Or proficiencies, I mean. You can add this stuff in later, but...
That also means I get magic.
True, but you got no idea how to use it.
That is also true.
Anyways, so your body feels really weird.
Oh, I don't get any weapon proficiencies when you multi-class for druid.
Oh.
Yeah, I just get armor and shield, which mean nothing to me.
Yeah. Anyways.
What class are you going in Druid? Circle of the Moon?
That assumes he puts any kind of that's assuming he puts any kind of leveling into the druid.
Does this so do I increase my XP total to level 6 or does it stay?
It just stays the same.
So basically basically I'm now level 6, but I will not benefit from anything until I will not be able to add a level until I get to the amount that would require level 6.
Actually, you just gain. Yeah, no, because you just gain 300 experience.
300.
That's what it takes to get from 1 to 2, and that's just what we're going to go with. You gain 300 experience to get from 0 to 1 in the class.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be level 20 monk.
No, you still can be.
No, I can't. The XP chart stops at 20 with 150.
That's just the highest level. You can still gain EXP way beyond 20.
Yeah, but then it's up to you to tell me, okay, that's enough. Level up.
Yeah.
We're talking
Well, no,
advanced.
it just caps out after that. After that, you have to keep gaining 355,000 EXP to get another level.
Oh my god, that's such a...
At that point, you're killing gods, so... No, it's not a lot.
No, it's definitely not a lot.
It's all about perspective, man. Anyway, so... You guys all eventually meet up, and is it safe to say you guys just head back to the tree?
So we need to go to the Warforged first?
Yeah, you got to head back to the tree first to get Dervona and V.
That is, unless you want an irritated dwarf hunting you down on a hellhound.
Yeah, so when you get there, find Dervona and a very big dog. Like, holy crap, that's a big wolf. There's also 2 small streams of smoke coming out of its nostrils every time it breathes. Everybody's passed out at the moment. Dervona's sleeping against the big wolf, and V's sleeping against the large bone tree wrapped in blankets.
I sense a disturbance in the force.
I guess that should visit.
I wake Devona up.
How?
I walk over her up.
Dervona? You wake up to some guy poking you in the face.
How does my companion respond to that?
Is yours to command.
We'll just assume that it starts growling at Jing as she wakes up.
Jing, a very big dog is suddenly growling at you.
I growl back.
You're drowned out by the bigger dog.
I use put out his flame in his nose. Ha ha!
Wait, what did you do?
Prestidigitation to snuff out any flame in his nostrils.
Doesn't work. Well, it works for a second before, as the flame just like jets out of his nostrils for a split second.
She looks.
Anthony, you're disconnecting here.
No, I'm getting interrupted a few times. Anyways, as she would wake up, she'd end up patting it, like trying to get it to calm down, looking at Jing.
So, big dog.
Ugly dog.
Jing, don't insult him. He understands what you're saying.
Ooh, wait. Damn it, I don't speak Abyssal on this character.
And we're standing.
Me and the dog are having a stare off. And
The dog actually moved on. It's more just tending to Dervona at this point. It actually picks you up by the scruff of your neck and just throws you onto its back.
Okay, then.
Because keep in mind, this thing's height-wise, it's only a few inches shorter than you.
That's surprising.
It's a dire wolf. Remember that.
Oh no, I said it's surprising that it's shorter.
Again, it's about an inch and a half shorter than you. It's a runt by its standards.
Fair enough.
So yeah, now you're on a wolf. And V's up. And we're gonna... You guys want to start moving towards the village? Or the settlement?
Yeah.
Go.
Yep.
During that, I look through my bag and look for the letter.
It's there. Right next to the deck.
Yep. I carefully grab the letter and not another card.
you can't grab another card. The deck only works once per day.
Yeah.
That's true. You can't fuck with me anymore for now.
Unless it was from
Wouldn't say
yesterday night.
that.
That is, unless you drew that card before midnight.
Shut up. Stop giving me ideas. I pull out the envelope. And I walk up to Elizabeth and just shove it to her.
Is this supposed to be a love letter?
It's about... No, except wrong word. No, it's something you actually want to know, and I had to pay a stupid ass price for my whatever the fuck. I hope it's worth it, and I walk away. And don't say I never did anything for you.
Is there a sigil or something?
Your family's sigil.
Oh hell nah. I actually fly away.
You fly away from the envelope that was shoved at you.
No, as in I take the envelope with me if I'm flying away.
Yeah.
And I open it.
So you're off in seclusion.
What does the letter say?
It essentially lists a small contract between an unnamed individual. And gotta look this up again because I actually have parts of this. A group known as
God damn it.
New Moon Mercenaries, to ensure the deaths of a few individuals in an upcoming conflict with one another. This individual doesn't care how it's done, what condition the bodies are in. All she cares is that 2 rings are returned. What is of note, though, is that there are technically 2 letters within this. The first is the letter outlining what this person wants from them. The second saying that they have utterly failed on both counts. Neither ring was returned, and as such, payment will be withheld until such time as it is done, or until you all are dead. They don't care either way.
Is there anything else in the letter?
Basic description of both you and your sister. The second letter seems to have scribblings on the back. One says, one went north, the other south. Reach out to contact with the all-seeing and the Fraltons to see what we can get. Demand more pay.
I destroy the letters immediately.
All right, you do.
Shit. And I return back to the group.
All right.
Hello, Miss Moody.
Shut it. Just move on.
And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
This is gonna be weird. I have magic, but I can't use it.
Yeah.
Is
So,
it any useful magic?
Druidic magic. The problem is my character doesn't know what the fuck the card did.
no, you get a basic sense that you grew somewhat.
Yeah, but I don't know I can cast druidic magic.
Yeah. Anyways.
Where did you go, Brian?
What?
Where did you go?
Oh, I'm right here.
Yeah, no, on my screen it shows that you exited Roll20.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh.
Anyways,